This is a Grizzly 5-inch benchtop shear. And this is a 12-inch Grizzly benchtop shear. These shears work best when they're permanently mounted to a table. But I use them as temporary setups and C-clamp them to the bench. Here I'm shearing on a line, shearing a piece of 18 gauge steel. This shear does an excellent job with short pieces. Cutting 3/32 mild steel, 1/8 mild steel, and 3/16 inch mild steel. And in this case, 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch mild steel. Now you can see how this jumps when I cut through, just because it's not mounted securely to the table. This is an example of a cutter that is securely bench mounted. The advantage of the 12-inch shear is it will make longer cuts and cut through heavier material. It also has an extra long handle for leverage. What I have here is some 1/8 inch mild steel scrap. In its present form, that's all it is just scrap material. What I'm doing here is squaring it off so that I end up with usable material. You can see how well this 12-inch shear goes through this 1/8 inch mild steel. Just to point out here that the blades on both the 5-inch and the 12-inch can be sharpened. But I've put these through a lot of use, and so far they seem as sharp as the day I purchased them. What was scrap is now a usable piece of material. This is a throatless shear. In other words, you're not limited by the length of the throat. This is the type of shear preferred by armors, people who make armor, such as Knights of the Round Table. But generally, they're going to prefer a Beverly throatless shear, which is probably about 4 times as much as this Harbor Freight shear. Here I'm cutting a radius out of a piece of 1/8 inch mild steel. Now this type of shear is particularly good for cutting out shapes. With the results that I've been getting, I'm particularly pleased with this Harbor Freight throatless shear. Gives a good, clean cut. This is a 3.5 inch Heinrich Bar Cutter. As you can see, I've got a measuring device set up here so I can measure different lengths. Here I'm cutting off some 5/16 round stock. Good square cut. Here's some 3/16 mild steel. So I can adjust this, cut off some flat stock here. Now you could set up the 5-inch Grizzly shear or the 12-inch and put in a measuring device such as I have here. I paid $90 for this in 1973, and today it's $500, which is a little hard to justify for the home shop.